Hello everyone, welcome to GV Reddy Automation World. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go and subscribe to it. Right, please enable notification so that you will not miss out future ongoing videos. Right, today's topic is interview questions that are asked in the ValueLabs. Right, here we have two technical rounds, one manager, one HR round. Right, we'll quickly jump into the questions. What are the Selenium questions? How do you handle alerts using Selenium? Right, everyone knows it. Selenium provides a alert interface to handle the alerts. Alright, if you want to alert when it will come alert only when you do some action. Right, usually when you click on the any element, right, when we do some action on the any element, then alert will come. Right, when you are trying to click on that, it will give some alert notification. Right, it will right, when you are deleting anything, when you are updating anything, right, it will ask us, are you sure you want to delete or update? Right, such type of right alerts if you want to handle. Right, then first we have to switch to the alert, wait for the alert, then switch to it. Right, driver dot switch to alert. Then alert we have a different types of methods, either accept or dismiss or get text or also prompt alerts. If we have prompt alerts, we can also enter the text also by using alert dot send keys. Right, find element dot send keys will not work. Alert dot send keys we have to use. Right, what is Selenium grid? Right, Selenium grid allows us to execute. Right, if we want to execute my test case on different browsers, different versions, different platforms. Right, same test case I want to execute on different browsers, different versions of browsers, different platforms. Right, then we will go for Selenium grid. Grid will have a hub and nodes concept. Right, we have to set up a hub and nodes, then we can achieve the right, we can execute our parallel cross browser testing or parallel execution by using Selenium grid. Right, can you code a button that increments by 1 when clicked? Right, there is a button. If I click it, it will increment by 1. Then how we will handle it? Right, suppose then what we can do? Driver.find element. Suppose this is the button. Whenever we will click, then next we need to get that display element. Right, display element. Right, then we can you can test it. Some for loop we can use a while loop. Right, just click on it and try to see whether it is incrementing properly or not. Right, whether correctly incrementing or not. Right, like this we can handle the increment button. What are the different types of weights? Right, we have a hard weights and dynamic weights. Hard weights are thread.sleep. Right, mostly we will not use. Right, why? Because if you use thread.sleep, our application will halt execution. So mostly we will not use. We will go for dynamic weights. Dynamic weights are implicit, explicit, fluent weights. Right, implicit weight is a global weight. Right, it will be applicable for all the elements. When our element is taking time, implicit weight automatically will come into picture and will wait for the element. Explicit weight. Explicit weight is specific to the any element. Right, we can apply any condition, visibility of alert to be click, alert element to be clickable or presence of element. Right, based on different conditions we can use explicit and fluent weight. Fluent weight, it has a polling time. That means every 5 seconds I want to retry for the element. Right, explicit weight also will have that has a default weight, but fluent weight we can customize it. Right, these are the different weights. We have dynamic weights. Write the code snippets for explicit weight. Right, how to WebDriver weight equal to new WebDriver weight, driver duration of seconds. We can give the what is the seconds. We have to pass the driver object and how many seconds we want to wait. Then how to apply to the element wait dot until expected conditions, visibility of element located. Right, then we can use element. Then it will return right web element. We no need to find again. A lot of people I have seen, right, they will write wait dot until. What they will do again, they will write a driver dot find element to find the element. right? We don't require wait dot until itself. It will return the, it will wait for the element and it will return the web element, right? Write the code snippet for drag and drop, right? By using the actions class, we can first we have to find the source element, target element, and then actions class, right? We have to use the actions class to achieve it. Actions class will have a drag and drop method. We can give the drag, what is the source element, and a target element, build perform, dot build perform. We must write this dot build perform, then only it will drag and drop element. Right? How do you switch to different windows? Right? If you want to handle the windows, right, then first method is get window handle to get the current window ID. Current window ID. If you want to get window handle. If you want to get all the open window ID, then we will go for get window handles. Set of string. Right, if you want to switch to the child window, if we have only two windows, then it will work. Right, if we have only two windows and parent window you have two window IDs, then simple for loop, right, which is not equal to parent window ID, then driver dot switch to window. Right, that is the child window. Right, that write the code for taking the screenshot. How to take the screenshot? By using take screenshot interface, we can typecast the driver, and we have a get screenshot as a method, and we can give output type as a file, right, or bytes we will have, right, based on the condition file we are returning, so we can point to the file object. Then file utils dot copy file, we can copy this file into our location, system location. Right, these are the different Selenium questions asked. Right, then coming to Java, core Java questions, what is a singleton design pattern? Right, a singleton design pattern is used to create only one instance, to make sure if we create multiple objects also, it will create at any point of time single object only. Right, singleton design pattern ensure that class has only one instance, provide global point access. Right, if you want to WebDriver only one instance, you want to make sure that WebDriver only one instance you want, then we can create. How to create? We have to create, there are some rules we have to follow to create the singleton design pattern. First one is create the private static variable, current class variable, and then constructor, private constructor. Right, inside a private constructor we can initialize that driver, and we can have a public static get instance, it should return current class object. Right, if instance equal to null, then only create the object, otherwise existing object. Right, that is singleton. Singleton design pattern is used to make sure that object will create only one time. Explain the concepts of method overloading, method overriding. Right, this is polymorphism, right, dynamic polymorphism, right, static polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism. Static polymorphism means method overloading. Right, method overloading means what? Method name will be same, but arguments will be different. Right, different type of arguments or number of arguments, sequence of order of the arguments. This is called, also called as a compile type polymorphism, resolved during compilation. Suppose if we take a add, right, I want to add to integer, I want to add to double, I want to add to float, right, method name will be same, but arguments will be different. Method overriding. Overriding means overriding the parent class method in the child class is called a method overriding or dynamic polymorphism. Right, when subclass provides a specific implementation of a method that is already defined in the parent class. Right, runtime polymorphism. That means overriding the parent class method in the child class is called a, suppose if we take a parent show method, it has child will extend parent, it will override. Why we need to override? Right, I am not, child is not okay with the parent class implementation. Child want to change it, change the implementation. Right, sometimes in the parent class what we will do, reusable methods. Maybe sometimes, suppose I have written click method, maybe that click method is mostly it is working, maybe one or two condition it will not work. In those cases, what we will do? We will override and we will write a different logic to click the element. Right? In those cases, we will override. What is the difference between final, finally, finalize? Right? Final is used for variables. Right? We can declare as a variables, methods, classes. If we declare as a variable, we cannot change it. If we declare final for methods, we cannot override. If we declare final for classes, we cannot inherit that. We cannot do subclass. Finally is a block in the exception handling. It will always execute whether exception is occurred or not. Finalize is used to clean up the used to clean up the memory before garbage collection. It is called before clean up the garbage collection. Suppose if we take a try catch final. Finally we can use final is a keyword. We can use at a variable level, method level, class level. Finally is a block. We can use the in place of try and catch finally. Finalize is a method. It will be called before garbage collection. What is the difference between volatile and transient variables? Volatile ensures that changes to the variables across threads. Volatile means a volatile keyword why we will use mostly in the developer's point of view we will use. Ensures visibility of changes to a variable across multiple threads. Sometimes what will happen if we create a thread, the thread will have a separate memory. Suppose if you want to update the balance, each thread will have separate memory of the balance. But if you are doing same account, multiple threads you have created on the same account. Same account, you are withdrawing from two places. Suppose the thread will have separate memory. Initially 500 is there. Suppose one thread is two threads are trying to withdraw. One thread withdraw 500 is their balance. Suppose if you withdraw 100, second thread also withdraw 100. Now what should become? It should become 300. 500 minus 100, 100. But what will happen actually? Thread will have a separate memory space. One thread operation will not visible to another thread. So we will get inconsistent results. So to avoid that one, we will use the volatile. That means if we balance, if I make it as a volatile, what will happen? It will visible to all the threads. If one thread is withdrawing it, another thread also know it. How much is the balance? In those cases, mostly we will use volatile. Transient means, suppose the transient is prevents the variable from serialized. Sometimes while doing the serialization, I don't want few of the variables in the serialization. I don't want to participate few variables in the serialization. Then we can make it use of transient variable. We can use the volatile. Ensure changes are visible across thread. Transient will not be serialized. What is the concept of synchronization? Synchronization ensures that only one thread can access a shared resource at a time. Synchronization means what? Suppose you have a object, multiple threads are trying to access, it will not allow. It will allow one by one thread only. Prevents race condition in multi-threading. Achieved using synchronized keyword or synchronized blocks. Synchronized keyword or synchronized blocks. We can create synchronized keyword before the method so that multiple methods cannot withdraw at a time. Only one by one thread can execute withdraw. Java programming questions. How do you reverse a string? There are multiple ways. By using string buffer or builder, just convert string to string builder or string buffer dot reverse to string. But in interview, mostly they will not accept this. They will ask to write the other than predefined function. Then we can use the for loop and we can get one by one character from the last, starting from the last. Int I equal to str dot length minus 1, I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. One by one character we can get it, add to it. right? Or we can use the two-pointer approach also. We can also use. Right, the next question is how do you determine highest and lowest numbers and compare their distance from another number? Right, we have to find out what is the minimum number, maximum number, and they are asking, they will give one more number, find the distance from minimum value and maximum value with that number. Right, first we have to find the minimum and maximum numbers. Right, we can take the minimum and max. Right, minimum is the max value, max is the minimum value, or otherwise you can take the zeros. Right, then one by one number we will iterate. If number is less than minimum, we will update the minimum number. If number is greater than max, we will update the max as a current number. Then how to find the distance? Once this loop is completed, we will get the minimum and maximum. Then how to find the distance? Math.abs target minus minimum, target minus max. Then we will get the min and max distance. Reverse a string while keeping special characters in place. Right, special characters should same place, but remaining characters should be reversed. First we have to convert to two-char array, and a two-pointer approach we have to follow. Right, we can take the left and right. Left is 0, right is length minus 1, while left less than right. If character is current character is not a letter, then just skip and don't do anything, left plus plus. If character of right is not a, if it is a special character, right minus minus, don't do anything, just come to next letter. If it is a character, right, if not a special character, then just a character, then swap it. Right, we have to swap it. Right, just a swap, then left plus plus, right minus minus. Right, we can achieve it. Only characters will reverse, remaining will be same position. Given an element, determine if it is a present Fibonacci series or not. Suppose right, they will provide one number. We have to find out whether it is Fibonacci series number or not. How to find out? Right, just we have to take int a equal to 0, b equal to 1, first two numbers, then next number. While c is less than n, right, until n, that's it. C equal to a plus b, a equal to b, b equal to c, then we will, while until, right, we will loop it while c less than n, then we have to right, verify c equal to n or not. This c is equal to given number or not. Then we can verify it is a Fibonacci series or not. Then TestNG questions coming to how do you run failed test cases in Selenium. Right, one thing we can use retry listener. Right, we can implement the retry listener interface. In the retry method, we can take the count 0. What is the max count? Right, if count is less than max, then when the test case failed, then only it will execute. Right, it will retry for second time or third time based on the max retries. If max count is less than max retry, increase the count and return true. True means we are telling execute it again. Return false means we are telling stop it. Apply the retry logic to your test. Right, how to apply them? At the rate test, we have to apply retry listener equal to retry analyzer equal to retry analyzer dot class. Right, for every class if you want to write, it is very difficult. We can use the listener's concept or annotation transformer. Right, by using those, we can generally assign retry analyzer to all the test cases. Suppose there is one more option. Once after execution done, suppose 10 test cases are failed, then we will get a TestNG-failed. In the test output folder, we will get a TestNG-failed. We can execute it also. Right, by using like this, once execution done, we can execute failed test cases by using TestNG-failed. It will generate in the test output folder. We can execute it. How do you pass test data to in Selenium scripts? One is data provider. Right, by using data provider, we can pass the data, or we can get the data from the Excel file, Excel files we can read by using Apache Py, or JSON file. Right, JSON file we can read from by using Jackson-Bind API, or we can pass from the command line arguments. Right, then coming to framework, what is the page object model? Alright, page object model is a design pattern, right, in the Selenium to enhance, right, our code maintainability, readability. Alright, for in the page object model, we will create a separate page class for each page in the UI and test classes. So we will not mix both page locators and test class code. We will both separate. So that's the code reusability we can achieve. Improves the code reusability, enhances readability, maintainability, code duplication, reduces code. What is the advantage of it? Right, explain our automation framework, its component. Right, mostly everyone will follow hybrid framework by combining data-driven, keyword-driven or page object model to maximize the efficiency. What are the components? Maybe for build tool you are using Maven or Gradle. Right, for unit testing, TestNG, JUnit. For a page object model, right, we can use page object model, data-driven testing for logging, Log4j, extend report for reporting, CI/CD Jenkins or Git version control, Git. Right, we can explain what is the structure of it and how we have maintained where we have maintained different classes in different folders. Right. Then Maven lifecycle. Right, what is Maven lifecycle? It will have a validates the project, compile the source code, test, runs the unit test, package, create a jar or var file, verify, runs additional test, install the package into local system, deploys package to remote repository. We will run just only up to, right, we will do MVN clean test. That means it will run the validate, it will validate our project, it will compile the code, runs the test cases. Alright, we don't require. If you want to run jar or var, we can run until, right, this package. Or if you want to run, we will run mostly until install. Right, we will not deploy. If you have some projects, they will deploy jar to remote repository. Right, if you want, we can deploy also. Then how do you generate reports in Selenium? Right, we can do extent report or Allure reports. Right, we can do either extent report or we can do Allure reports. Whichever you are familiar, explain that. Coming to CI/CD DevOps questions. Right, how do you set up Jenkins? Right, how do you execute from Jenkins? Right, maybe different types of questions we can get. Right, how do you configure? What are the different configurations we will give in the Jenkins? Right, how to do a scheduler if you have idea about the scheduler. Right, then if you want, if they will ask end to end. Right, first we have to download the var file, right, Jenkins var file, and we can run it. Java-jar jenkins.var, it will run it. Initially it will ask for password, it will display on the command prompt itself password that we can copy and give it. Next step, it will ask to select the plugins. We can leave it as a default plugins. We can click on next. Then once it is installed we can go to Jenkins plugin manager. Right, we can install Git plugin, Maven integration, Selenium plugin, HTML publisher plugins. Then we can configure the Git repository to Jenkins. And we have to install the Maven and give the path to the Jenkins Maven. Then we can create either freestyle project or pipeline job. We can create either freestyle, pipeline or multi-job or Maven project. Different types of jobs will be there based on our requirement. We can create. We can give the project git URL and configure the Maven. If you are running through Maven, give the command. Post build, once it is executed, just we have to give the publish HTML reports will be there. We have to install this plugin, it will come, then we can give the path so that it will show reports in the Jenkins. Right, ensure Selenium is set up correctly. Right, Selenium is set up is done. Run it. If you want a pipeline, we can run it by using pipeline concept also. If you have idea, you can explain. Right, sometimes they will ask git comments. What are the different git comments we have used? Git clone to clone the repository, git fetch. Difference between git fetch and pull they will ask. Git commit, git push, git branch, git checkout. Right, git merge and rebase. Sometimes they will ask git merge and rebase difference. Stash and pop. Right, reset. Coming to SQL questions, how do you display the second result of the query? That means second highest one. In the Oracle, this will work in the Oracle database. Select star from, then select E dot star row num R from employees, order by salary descending where R equal to 2. Right, if they will ask first means first, third means third, we can give. Right, this is the query, we can return nth result of the query. Coming to manual testing, right, just will go quickly. Test plan and test strategy. What is test plan and test strategy? Right, it is a detailed document describing the scope, objective, resources, schedule, testing activities. Test strategy is a high-level document that outlines overall approach and testing methodologies. Right, scope is project specific, organization level. This will maintain by created by test manager or lead. This is manager or director. Right, that is, there are a lot of things you can learn it. Just high level I am giving. Bug life cycle. Right, it will have a different life cycle like new, assigned, open, fixed, pending, reset, verified, reopened, closed. Right, software HDLC. What is HDLC? Right, requirement gathering, analysis, design, development, testing, deployment, maintenance. ST, software testing life cycle, requirement analysis, test planning, test case design, environment setup, execution, test closure. Right, what is Agile process? Right, Agile is an iterative incremental software development approach focused on flexibility, collaboration, customer feedback. Right, Agile principles are what? Customer collaboration, responding to change, working software cover over comprehensive documentation, individual interactions over process and tools. Right, Agile, there will be some terminologies, right? Product backlog, sprint planning, sprint, daily scrum, sprint review, sprint retrospective. Agile methodologies can follow Scrum or Kanban. Coming to API, what are the components of the API request? It will have a URL, HTTP method, headers, body, query parameters, path parameters. Right, what is the difference between get and post? Right, get retrieve the data, post will create the data. Alright, here get request sample. What is the difference between 201, 204? 201 is created. Right, if you created anything, then it will return 201. 204 means when you delete it, right, we will get to 401, 403. 401 is unauthorized, 403 forbidden. Right, difference between query parameters, path parameters. Query parameters are to filter or sorting or searching. We will use it. Path parameters specific to resources. Right, manager round. Coming to manager round, if the client did not provide clear requirements, but you still had to deliver, how would you approach it? Right, we have to gather the information, break down the assumptions, agile approach, document and confirm, risk management. We can do all these things. How do you decide priorities on your test cases? Right, first critical features, then medium priority, then low priority. How do you resolve the conflicts? Right, first we have to check git pull, then we will get some conflicts, then we can open that file and we can resolve those things. Behavioral HR question. HR means general question. Provide details about your academic and work experience. What is expected CTC? Why ValueLabs? You want to join? How soon you can join? Right? Why did you leave previous job? Right? Those things. Right? HR questions. Right? Just to practice. We have to practice more. Right? If you want to hands-on practice, framework knowledge, CI/CD understanding. Right? Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, enable notification. Right, please share to your friends, comment in the comment section if you have any questions. Please like the video. Thanks for watching.